First of all, I want to follow up some of the things that you said at the end. I hope Nick pays attention, because you said that banks are afraid of stable coins and open banking and all that kind of development. So we have a banker in the panel. I just want to ask him directly. Peter, are you afraid of stable coins and open banking?
I am terrified. No, obviously, as a physical person, as an individual, I support it very much. As a professional, as a banker, with the open banking, I have my own opinion, and we will probably agree to disagree, because I'm still waiting to see something which is a very valuable case for, I'm very selfish for myself. So this huge, I would say, impact that everybody was expecting 10 years ago, and the banks were very much afraid. I'm still waiting for that, but this is the opinion. Stable coins, I am enthusiast as a physical person, but whoever spoke to any regulators anywhere in the world, I guess, but we are bound by a very strict rules. So it's not if we are afraid of implementing something innovative, it's more about if we are afraid of getting fined, which happens relatively to bankers all over the world. It happens relatively frequently. So all in all, it's as Facebook has this status, it's complicated, but we are not so much afraid of the technology, about the solution. We even like it, but it's very hard to implement in the circumstances that we as a traditional banks have.
So everybody, including the regulator, says that open banking is a viable business case for banks. As a banker, do you see this now, or it's not as obvious as everybody believe that it is from the perspectives of the fintechs and the regulator?
I'm very opinionated person, so probably not objective. I'm still waiting for that. I get the idea, I like the idea, but I'm waiting for like something huge, something that will wow me, and I didn't see it. So, but again, that's me. I see it's good for as a democratic tool. That you are opening up, etc. But
we only have 15 minutes. I'm sorry, that's all they gave us, and we have no beers. Now I will move to Adriana. I want to talk a bit about the journey of Moldova from the regulatory point of view. We need to take steps towards the integration with the EU regulatory framework. Can you tell us about how CNPF, I don't know the abbreviation in English, I'm sorry, how are they tackling the MiFID, MiFIR, MiF, MiCA, and all the other regulations and directives we are supposed to implement in our journey?
Thank you. First of all, I would also like to refer to open banking. By the way, the main job of a regulator is to set up rules, right? It's like this room. Let's put some chairs, let's put a nice screen, let's have some water, and then we expect people to come. And it's the same, I think, in open banking. And by the way, starting in March 2026, the National Bank of Moldova set up the room. So we expect players to come on the market. And also, on the other hand, you may heard Moldova is embracing in a quite accelerated mode the necessary reforms in order to be a member of EU. We as a country committed to do a lot of reforms, including in the financial sector, and to approve legislation by end of this year. With some of the application starting with January 2027, some in January 2028. In this regard, we have a lot of draft laws for public consultation, and we expect private sector to be more active and to engage in commenting and improving those draft law in order to put domestic flavor to them and to adjust them to the local market opportunities. We drafted a law regarding MiFID. It is currently under public consultations, so we expect to be passed to the government for adoption by the end of August. We also developed the MiCA regulations. This draft law is also under public consultations. Both laws are expected to be approved by the parliament by the end of this year. And as regards MiFIR, it's a regulation we have as a non-EU country to transpose it in national legislation. It will be an NCFM decision after the law on MiFID will be adopted.
Okay, thank you. And I will get to Vlada. We want to talk about a little bit about instant payments, MIA, that was implemented in Moldova last year, if I don't not mistaken, and about Evo, which is our identity wallet. You said that in Romania you don't see the need of it. I know that the Romanians are working with our eGov to kind of implement something similar. So tell us about Evo. Tell us about the numbers that you've seen since its launch. I have to say, from my personal perspective, is the best thing that actually came out of Moldova recently.
You are absolutely right.
It's the wine is good, but the wine I know it from since I was born. Evo, it's recent.
We have wine for names is 100% digital Evo. You need to try this.
So there you go. But I actually live most of the time outside of Moldova, and there is a lot of things I won't be able to do without the recent innovations that eGov has implemented. So tell us about Evo. Can you give us an overview of the last year, about Evo, the numbers, about MIA, and what do you do at MPay specifically, and what is the next steps for you as the head of MPay? How do you see MPay developing in the next year?
Okay, let's start with MIA. What is it, MIA? MIA is a governmental product of instant payment developed by National Bank of Moldova and implementing of all of banks, Moldovan, all of banks. So, I have a number here. Yes, MIA's growth has been we are approaching 1 year since launching P2G, only P2G now for instant payment. And the number is 24 million paid to the state in 2025 and already is 33 million in 2026. This year, our focus is launching MIA B2G. Business can pay instant, how physical person already do now. And our big ambition, I think my and National Bank's big ambition is launching request to pay. It's my goals, our state's goals. We want to request the payment and the physical person only approve and it's done. And I think it is. What about Evo? I say Evo is super governmental app. We have all in our phone. And actually at Moldova Digital Summit 2026, we launching Evo 2.0. It's we redesigned our app. We development a new wallet. The same standards for European wallet, and for 2027 we want to launching EQIC for European standards. And okay, you now to use the Evo, you need to buy a mobile signature or electronic signature. But EQIC resolves this problem, will be resolved this problem, and it's our goals in the e-governance.
Thank you so much. Let's get back to CNPFM, and we are having a capital market index launched soon. So we have the the name for the name escapes me. Stock exchange. Sorry. So we have a stock exchange plan to be launched. And also recently, I mean, not that recent, maybe 3 years ago, crowdfunding was implemented. So I kind of want to combine these two questions because they are relevant to investors. I want to know what is the CNPF's role and how is the plan in terms of protecting investors in the stock exchange, and also how do you see the growth, if you see any growth since the launch of the crowdfunding directly in Moldova?
Yeah, thank you. In terms of crowdfunding, Parliament approved the law in 2023. Unlike it is in Romania, the crowdfunding platforms are allowed to make peer-to-peer lending. That is, of course, driving the market, and from our point of view, it boosts the market. We have two market players. One is more active, and it is also present in Romania, Fagura, and the other one is, I would say, in a more dormant stage. We see quite positive evolution for these crowdfunding platforms, and we are looking forward to that they will provide added value both for investors and for those ones that are looking for investments. So far, so good. In terms of stock exchange, indeed, we approved a new capital market strategy, and we managed to attract the Bucharest Stock Exchange in Moldova. They officially established the legal entity last September, and I think it was yesterday when they submitted the documents for authorization to NCFM. We hope to review all the documents, to check all the processes, and to provide the license to the Moldovan Bucharest Stock Exchange. I think it is an important step forward. We look forward to have not only the Romanian stock exchange in Moldova, but also to drag some investment brokerage companies that will diversify the offer of financial instruments that may be available for Moldovan citizens.
Thank you so much. And Peter, the journey of the Moldovan banks has been quite impressive, to be honest, in the last years, especially after the pandemic. In terms of the customer relationship with the banks, with online means such as mobile and web banking. However, there are still challenges for us, I'm sure you know. So to bring the discussion kind of relevant to the Evo app, when do you think we will be able to do our banking activities 100% online, when we will not be asked to go every 1 or 2 years to have our IDs scanned, and maybe I'm behind and this is already happening. So how do you see, as part from the bank, what are the challenges, why this hasn't happened yet, and if it will ever happen, and if it will not happen, what is the reason for that? So maybe there's a good reason that it would never happen and it shouldn't.
I'll try to keep it short. So basically, as a foreigner, what I saw in the Republic of Moldova, it's, in terms of digital, it's quite progressive. I mean, and you have instant payments, you have the Nexus framework for open banking, you have the remarkable things like Vlada worked on, like Evo, which I'm using. So also, the point is we have to work on education, because we are the bank which is very much present physically within the whole Republic of Moldova. So from the very north border with Ukraine to the very south, and you have a great amount of people who like to physically go to the branches. So in terms that we achieve this, I'm not afraid of the technical capabilities. I'm more on the side that we need to work constantly on education of people, and the education you do in a very simple way. Everybody, I mean, we're, as human beings, we're looking for our own interest as a means of survival. That's anthropologically proven. So to explain to the people why is it good for them not to wait 2 hours in a line, or to have to go from a village to the belts, from Oklica to belts to do something, etc., etc. So long story short, technically, I think we're near. Most of the things you can do with our bank and with our main competitors, you can do eKYC and things like that. You can do online. Digital onboarding, we're preparing. It will be done in a month or two, but it'll come very fast. It's more about the mindset and getting the people to get accustomed to that. But I'm very optimistic because, I see people, various age groups, various backgrounds, using digital services, and it makes me very proud. So, yeah.
Thank you.
Sorry. I think it's a big problem in the trust, because we have a big problem with fraud schemes in Moldova, and it's shaken public trust. And in villages, paid at the post office is more accessible and more trusting, I think, more comfortable for people. When yes, I need all the digital and fintech infrastructure in Moldova need to work with villages and other geographics in Moldova, and the digital infrastructure and finance infrastructure need to go and villages, not only in Chisinau.
It's a matter of financial inclusion, which it's a bigger topic. And I guess you're right that it's, for a lot of people, it's more comfortable to go to the post office or to the local alimentare, right, and to pay it that way, which is fine. And I don't think that they should lose the access of doing that. I just think that everybody should have the option to do the interaction with the bank the best way possible for them. As you said, everybody works in their own interest. So if I want to pay cash, that should be possible. And if I want to do all the interaction with the bank just on my mobile phone, that should be possible as well, from my point of view. One last topic I want to ask Vlada. You mentioned something about paying taxes at our event in 2025 last year, and you think that Moldovans would be more willing to pay taxes, it would be easier. I think you mentioned something that, and if I'm wrong, please correct me, if Evo app or MPay would implement some sort of an easier way to pay taxes?
Yeah, notification. If you have paid tax or maybe contravention to tax in Evo, you have notification about this. But my opinion is we need request to pay. We need to request to pay in Moldova. Only one request in your mobile app, and only your approve, and it's all. And I want to go to pilot in 2026 for few service provider, 1, 2, and try this instrument. I think we will go.
Okay, thank you.